Hey everybody, this is Robert Patrick. Watch Shaun of the Dead.
Hey, what's going on? Shaun of the Dead. Just wanted to come at you with a video today. A request by Andrew. We were doing some discussing, and we were going through, and we were talking about an idea he had for a video, and I was like, okay, and we discussed it at some length. And he had some other ideas, and we were discussing opportunities. But the main thing is where to find supplies that you wouldn't think about looking for supplies. Like he said, a school bus, for instance, has a basic first aid kit. And I was like, well, is this information for everybody, or what? He said, no. He made it an effort to go out and talk to teachers, faculty, things like that, in general, to glean the knowledge and the information to say where things are kept, what spots are the places to go to in an emergency situation, what are the emergency procedures, and then if you know what the emergency procedures are, then you know where to go to get the things you need whenever zombies to attack. So, now, let's go ahead and jump from there. There's a few places that you might not want to go that would, in fact, probably have plenty of supplies. Now, here's some food for thought first, real quick. When in a zombie apocalypse, one thing that a lot of people forget about is most of the population are going to be dead. That means they're not taking any meds. They're not shooting any bullets. They're not eating any food. They're not drinking any water. They're not using up any supplies. Well, that means that there's more for you. So at first, there's going to be a land of plenty. You just kind of have to fight your way through to get it. Police cars, ambulances, all that kind of stuff, obviously, are going to be little jewels to get a hold of. And always take a peek at them if you can find them on the road. But keep in mind, they're probably going to be scrounged already. If you happen to find something of use in those, then great. If not, then hey, at least you have a shot, right? So now we know school buses have first aid kits. Now, we're talking about 18-wheelers, tow trucks, things like that. Sometimes they'll have first aid kits inside them. Tow trucks may have bolt cutters. They may have other tools and gloves that are necessary for you to do jobs that you might go, oh, I didn't think about grabbing that kind of stuff. Whenever I was bugging out of my house, I got these tools now. I got some bolt cutters. I can get into a fence. Great. Well, there you go. So, when you start to look at things in perspective, you find an empty semi-truck. Hey, if it's an over-the-road hauler, you may have some food in the actual truck itself. Even if there's nothing in the back, of importance, that is, some allied moving truck where people are like, someone's furniture, they might have a gun or something. They may or may not check the inside of the truck, or they may or may not check it well. Some preppers are over-the-road drivers. They prep for that. But, those are some places that might have a few things that you can use, like, a portable air compressor where you can air up your tires. They may have, a portable CB that you can remove from the actual vehicle and listen in on conversations and communicate with other people across long distances. Things like that. They may have some flares in there still. Nothing else. It could be a distraction. It could start a fire with it. Something. Things can be useful. Now, places you might not want to go that you could go. One more place, in case I mentioned the defibrillator in the mall. I was in a mall recently, and my buddy had told me about it. He's seen them in several different places. He's an EMT, so he knew about these things before I did. And I happened to see one on the wall. There was a defibrillator on the wall of a mall. It's a mini defibrillator. And I was like, wow, well, that could be the difference between life and death, especially in a zombie apocalypse. You see yourself a defibrillator, you can snag it. Go get medical training. Go get a basic first aid. Go get basic CPR. Find out what the new appropriate things are for now. Go take yourself a suture course. It will teach you more about when not to suture than it will how to suture. And that is very valuable. I found that out whenever I took mine. And then after I talked to my buddy who's an EMT afterwards, he was like, yeah, most of the time you don't suture. You just don't. There's a few times you do, but most of the time you don't. So, unlike Hollywood, you don't always stitch up a wound. So, learning when you should or should not stitch up a wound is very important, because you can make the person very, very sick, and you can do more harm than good by stitching them up. So, go take courses. Learn. Knowledge is key. A tool that you won't drop and lose is right there between your ears. Okay? So those are some things. Now here's the places not to go that everybody knows has stuff. Houses. But particular houses. Houses that have an American flag out front. That's right. If they have an American flag out front, enter with caution. Hello? Friendly approaching. Not dead, not bit, just friendly. If you see that they have a military flag out front flying with American flag, you might want to sound off from a distance, or use a signal mirror or a flashlight to communicate. You don't want to just go walking up to the door and go, "Hey, survivor calling." Probably not a good idea. Now, if they have a Mano Libre or "Don't Tread on Me" or "Come and Take It" flag in front of their house, fracking, don't even bother going there. If you live in Texas and you see somebody who's got "Succeed" from the Union, do not knock on their door. If you can see them, rest assured that they have a scope on you. So just walk away. Walk the frack away. Look like you're not even paying attention to their stuff and you're not interested, and go away. Or you may be dead. Because you never know what's going on with them. They probably are from a culture of people that are more country in nature, where they have guns and they have food and water and things like that. They know how to garden and they know how to can. And I'm not talking about going to the grocery store. I'm talking mason jar canning, where you get your fruits, your vegetables, and whatnot, and you can them. So they may have canned goods of that nature stockpiled up inside their place just because they've been growing crap in their garden in the backyard. So, just be careful who you bump into and how you bump into them. The more skill sets you have, especially medical, could be invaluable. If you take several medical courses and you can get EMT certified, shoot. Walk up and be like, "Hey, I'm EMT certified. I just want to let you all know, I've got some food, I've got some water, not much, I got enough myself, but I'm just looking for a place that I can bed down for the night and be safe. And if anybody needs any medical aid, I'd be glad to render my services. Hey, you might make a friend that way. You might make several friends that way. You can patch up a couple of wounds here and there. You know, people get hurt. They smash their finger. They cut their foot on something. They trip and fall. You know, in the heat of battle, they get shot or shoot themselves. I mean, accidents can happen. You know, and if you can dig out a bullet and you can clean out a wound and you can, get them taken care of and bandaged up, man, that means a lot. If you happen to have a little bit of pain reliever on hand or something, you slam a few, extra Tylenol or a couple of Aleve or something, man, that sure goes a whole hell of a long way. You know, whenever a person goes, man, I've been dealing with this sore issue for a while. If you have a flask, a little bit of moonshine or something in it, or Everclear, man, a little bit of Everclear, a couple shots of that, that'll take the edge off, and then you can go to work cleaning their wound and stuff. And if they don't have any disinfectant, you can use that Everclear to clean their wound. So just a little food for thought for you. So let's do some of the basics. We may go deeper into this as we go, but I wanted to kind of go over the first fundamentals on a couple of places to go and a couple of things to look at, but a couple of things that you should know first before you start going and gathering things. Fire extinguishers are another thing that you might want to stockpile up on when you get the opportunity. We'll go over the logistics of why later, but those are good. Those are good tools to have on hand. So for right now, just take that portion of it, and we will expand on this a little bit later. Shaun of the Dead, as always, ask questions. I want to know. Tell me, what are places that you know of? Tow trucks may have tools, things like that. Different places that you might know that you go that would have some first aid stuff, some survival stuff, kind of stuck back out of the way. Share a little bit of information, because remember, not everyone's going to make it out of the blender alive. There's going to be so many dead people. Once you can get to where you can maneuver away from the zombies, you can just go out there and start picking up crap off the street. Walk into dead people's houses and just start, with a shopping cart and just walk out with food and supplies. I mean, they're just going to be sitting around, rotting. You just go get it. So, and that's one thing a lot of people don't realize is there's going to be so much stuff. There's not going to be the need for running to a store. Everyone's going to be dead soon. Well, not everyone, but a good chunk. There's going to be crap everywhere. So, again, as always, if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Please comment. Please, share your input. As always, please, reach down there, click that little subscribe button. I sure appreciate that. I like add members to my family. It always makes me feel a little bit better when I see a new subscriber. I'm like, hey, all right. So, make Shaun of the Dead a little happy and click that subscribe button. Every time I see a new subscriber, I feel like I made a new friend, and I like having friends. So, as always, please subscribe, and always ask questions, ask for videos, and I will do my best to get them out to you. You have a good one.